With the start of the new school year, you might be seeing some new faces. One of these may be Mrs. Coates.
You get chemicals in your eyes, you should flush them with water for A, less than 10 minutes, B, 15 minutes, C, 25 minutes, or D, more than 20. Well, I have always wanted to be a teacher. Even when I was a kid, I thought I would make a good teacher. My mom was a teacher, my grandma was a teacher, my aunts were teachers. And when I went to college, I actually thought about, I was working towards going into teaching high school biology. But I did undergraduate research in a research science lab, and I loved it. And that person hired me after I graduated, and so I just went down that path. And I even told her when she hired me, I'm like, well, I was thinking about going into teaching. And she said, you know what, Katie, in any field you go into, there's an opportunity to teach within that field. So that's what I've been doing for 20 years, is finding, the little teaching nugget within each job that I've had. But now, 20 years as a scientist, I decided I wanted a new challenge. I wanted to do something different, and teaching just seemed like the clear choice. I have two boys, and they'll go to school here. So this school was my number one choice to work at.
What kind of scientist were you before specifically?
Molecular biologist. So at first I worked at the University of Washington using DNA. It was a breast cancer research lab. And also within that lab, I got to work on the project where we used DNA to solve human rights cases. And then I moved from there to the crime lab, Washington State Patrol Crime Lab, where I was a forensic scientist using DNA to solve criminal cases. And then I took a job here closer to home at WSU Puyallup. And at that job, I was using DNA to identify plants and plant pathogens. So it's all molecular biology. DNA is DNA, whether it's from a human or a plant. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really happy to be here. And I have felt nothing but support from the staff and the students. It's been a really great experience.
Mrs. Coates is also the new head FFA advisor, which meets every Tuesday in her room. This has been Mason Justino signing off for Viking Student Media.